Welcome back to KHR Press. I'm Eddie Law. Joining us today is a 9-4 featherweight who gets a home game on June 13th in Louisville, Kentucky at LFA 210. Taking on Javier Reyes in the main event. Straight out of Kentucky, you better protect your neck when he's in the cage with you. He is the Tornado, Lance Lawrence. How you doing, Lance?
I'm doing wonderful, man. How are you?
I'm great, man. I appreciate the time and you coming on, dude. So, Louisville, Kentucky, LFA in your backyard. What's it mean for you to fight not only at home, but in the main event on a big card at home?
I mean, it's awesome, man. I'm getting messages every day from people like, man, I see you on the billboard. Just people I've known my whole life or haven't talked to in years. They're like, man, I just saw you downtown or here and here. They're doing so much advertising with my face now, and it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, Ed Soros went out there to do a little bit of press, make sure people understand, know about the card and all that. You were involved in all that. How fun was that?
I mean, it was awesome, man. I love working for the LFA, man. They're just a great organization to fight for. I haven't fought for anyone better than the LFA, man.
And that's great to hear. Honestly, I mean, a lot of people, they're kind of in a hurry to get somewhere else. They don't really appreciate where they are at the moment. So it's pretty cool to have that kind of point of view.
That's a good way to put it. Like, I'm just appreciating where I am at the moment, man. Tomorrow's never promised, so I'm gonna enjoy today.
100% do. So not many people know Louisville is a really rich, combat sports history for heavyweight boxing champions at Louisville, and this is dating way back. Jimmy Ellis, Greg Page, Marvin Hart, of course, the legend of legends, Muhammad Ali. That kind of history, man. How's it feel to represent the Ville?
I mean, I love it. So I got to keep my boxing game strong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boxing schools in the city of Louisville that I frequent a lot, and a lot of great boxers as well. There's another great heavyweight in Louisville right now named Tim Moten. I think he's fighting this weekend, but he's another undefeated heavyweight coming out of Louisville. So a lot of great boxers in Louisville.
Yeah, plenty of combat sports in your town, dude. That's great to see. So recent MMA fans might not know, but you actually had that fight on Dana White Contender Series in 2019. Tough fight with Siler, and by the way, you weren't the only Louisville man on that card. Dante Miz is on there as well, but
yes,
but that result clearly not what you were hoping for, but the experience, getting in there, in under the lights as much as you can under the Apex lights, did that fuel you moving forward?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm grateful for the experience. I wouldn't change a thing, man. I wouldn't change a thing. I lived, I learned, I got through the fight, didn't fight very smartly in my opinion. And, I learned a lot from it. It was a big growing experience, and all the lights were real new to me. I just went from the real local regional stage to Dana White's Contender Series, man. It was a lot to take in.
Yeah, so, hey, last time out, awesome finish over Jacob Bond, dude. He definitely wanted to grapple with you, right, on his own terms. The finishing sequence might be one of my favorites I've ever seen, because he shoots on you, puts you on the fence, you try to throw, he kind of got awkward, turned into a scramble, and then you just snatch his neck the quickest way I've seen anyone do it with a nasty guillotine. Again, neck snatcher, man. We got to work on this nickname. But after a hard, almost 3 rounds, how did it feel to finish it like that?
I worked that choke the whole camp, man. Yeah. I knew this guy was gonna shoot. I knew he was gonna shoot at some point, probably a lot, and he did. And so, I told my coaches, like, I really need to dial this choke in. So, we spent hours in the training room just polishing the guillotines and all the variations, and paid off, man.
Yeah. Are you one of the ones when you game plan? Do you like set up like a main objective and then kind of have a game plan with a bunch of different like webs to it, or do you go, hey, I'm gonna do this and this and this and that's it?
It kind of varies. It kind of varies. You have an overall game plan for all, and with Jacob Bone, I would say it was executed pretty well. How I fought in there, minus losing the first round, getting in a bad spot and just having to ride it out. That was pretty much the game plan other than that.
There you go, man. So, hey, the reason we're here today, you're the man on the marquee, Louisville, Kentucky, LFA 210, taking on Javier Reyes, who fought for the interim title not long ago, I think last year. He's coming off the last couple of weeks ago at LFA 209, but when they called you and said, hey, Javier Reyes, June 13th, hometown, what were your first words?
Let's do it. I mean, I probably had 30 seconds between text and me saying, let's do it. Send me the contract. I just want an opponent. And he's a super game opponent, great record, huge amount of experience. Guy's already fought for the title. He's been fighting for LFA. it's a huge fight for me, and I'm excited to get in there with another veteran, man.
Yeah, how do you like the matchup? Because like you say, he's a game fighter. He's been all over the world fighting. He's got all kinds of experience. How do you like the matchup? You know, your skill set against his.
I mean, I think it's a great matchup. You know, I think it's a making for a great fight overall. Like Javier he comes to fight, he comes to win, and you know, I'm coming to stop everything he's bringing. And I think it's just another makings for a great fight. And I'm hoping, you know, I'm going to do my best to deliver that for the city of Louisville and everyone watching.
There you go, man. With friends and family in the stands, man, you might want to do that. So, when it comes to opponents, when they offer you an opponent, do you obviously any fight you get, you're just excited because I'm finally going to get in there, show what I got. But when it's opponents like Javier Reyes who wants all the smoke at all times, do you just get even that more hyped up?
Yeah, because I just know it's going to be a good fight, man. And you know, at the end of the day, the outcome is never promised. But the one thing I can do is enjoy every second of it, man. Like this is what I live and this is what I breathe. You know, I spend every day of my life training to be a better fighter, and I'm just excited to get there and execute all of my training against a super experienced and good opponent.
There you go. All right, a win here gets you to 4 in a row, 3 in LFA, but you get mic time after a win like that, especially in the main event. You get to look at all your people, all your friends, all your family. You have the mic, you have a camera in your face. Who or what are you asking for next?
That's a good question. It's a good question. Well, I know Contender Series is right around the corner, and you know I really want to slot. I want to fight on there, and if not, you know I'm gonna stay ready in case something comes up, because something always comes up. So I just plan on going right back into camp after this fight, and if you know I don't get the nod for Contender Series for whatever reason, you know I know that the previous champ is vacating the belt. I recently heard, not positive, but I heard he's going to Contender Series. So, you know, I'm strap season if nothing else, man. If nothing else, give me the strap or give me Contender Series.
Hey, you know, I'm sure that's music to Ed's ears and Dana. Give my man a shot again. Let's go, man. Like you want someone to grab some necks and take people out.
I'm
The
looking
tornado.
to snatch necks, cash checks, brother.
Hey, that's a tattoo right there. All right. Quick fire shots right here for you before we get you back to your day. Outside of fighting, what is the most important thing for Lance Lawrence?
My family, man. You know, I'm a father of 2 little girls, man. 2-year-old or a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old right now. And you know, if I'm not training, I'm dadding hard. You know, or I'm hanging out with my wife. And you know, I got my family, and so that's my whole life. Train, dad, train, dad, train, dad.
The 2 little toddlers, did they join you in the training room at all?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I got to train a couple times a day, and usually I got my kiddos with me, so they come to the gym with me quite a bit. You know, hang out, we play around on the gym after I get my session in, and you know, just get them accustomed to being there because this is my life, and it's their life now too.
Hey, there you go. That's a great way to do it, man. When they're little, this is just what we do. It's perfect. All right. Biggest supporter in your MMA journey so far?
My wife. You know, I mean, my mother obviously was the first, but you know, my wife is there for me every day. She, you know, helps me meal prep. She supports me. She believes in me even on the days I don't believe in myself. You know, she's definitely my biggest supporter day in, day out.
Yeah, a strong rock gets you everywhere you need to get, man. That's how it goes. Is she, when she goes to your fights, is she like the watching behind the fingers type, or is she
Yeah.
screaming and throwing stuff?
Both. Definitely a nervous wreck. She wants it over as quick as possible. She really doesn't like those 3-rounders.
I bet, man. So, all right, who's your favorite combat sports athlete of all time?
Oh man, of all time. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can narrow it to one, but just to like wrap off some names. You know, I love Bass Rutten. He was one of the first guys to get me into the sport. You know, watching his videos. Huge fan of Demetrius Johnson, John Jones, Lyoto Machida. You know, these are all just big greats that, you know, of all time, those are some of my favorites, man.
There you go. All right. Favorite activity outside of training and fighting?
Outside of training and fighting, I love camping. I love hiking. I love being out in the wilderness, man. You know, it's, you know, that's like one of the first things I like to do after a fight, you know, you got all the attention, you got all the lights on you, man. I like to go out deep in the woods, remind you that, you know, you're nothing. You're just a part of nature, man. So it's one of my favorite activities, other than hanging out with family, man.
So you definitely prefer, instead of like a loud and busy vacation, for example, you really be like, nah, this is, you know, just the woods right here. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, we got a few spots out here in
Yeah.
Kentucky, a few hours out. You know, they're real secluded, no cell signal or anything.
Mhm.
Just kind of bring you back down to earth a notch a little bit, so to say.
Yeah. All right, man. Coolest thing about Louisville that most people don't know about.
I would say we have a, how do you put it, like a very artistic vibe about our city. You know, we have a lot of artists. You know, art wise and the musician wise, music's big here.
Mhm.
A lot of food, a lot of foodies here, a lot of great small food places, and yeah, it's just, you know, kind of a tight knit community a little bit. But
Yeah. All right. Hey, finally, June 13th, at LFA 210 in your backyard, Louisville, Kentucky. What can fans expect from the tornado, Lance Lawrence?
you expect me to bring it every second of every round. You know, we're coming to find out who the best fighter is, and we will leave that night with an answer. You know, there will be no guess room. You know, I think my opponent we're similar in ways where you got to kill us. You got to kill us to win. Like neither one of us have any quit in us. So I think I think you can expect fireworks.
Hey man, that's a great way to put it. And you're gonna get the answer no matter what on Saturday night, that night. All right, folks, don't miss it. Opponents, protect your neck. Home cooking is on the menu. June 13th, LFA 210 from Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. Against Javier Reyes in the main event. Tickets available through Ticketmaster, streaming on UFC Fight Pass. Keep a lookout for the tornado. Lance Lawrence. Lance, thanks for the time, man.
Thank you, sir.